I used to think my son saw this house the same way I did. Not as wooden walls, not as square footage and resale value, but as time. Every beam in this place holds a memory. The kitchen where my wife burned her first Thanksgiving turkey. The hallway where Tyler learned to ride a bike. Indoors, because it was raining. The backyard where I planted trees that are now taller than the roof. To me, this house was a life. To Tyler, it became a timeline. In his eyes, I wasn't a father anymore. In his eyes, I wasn't a father anymore. I was a tenant living inside his future inheritance. Last month, he sat us down at the dining table. Same table where we used to celebrate birthdays. And placed a stack of glossy brochures in front of us. Smiling couples. Clean rooms. Neutral colors. Words like comfort, care, and peace of mind. Printed in soft fonts. Luxury senior studio, he called it. He said it was for our safety. Said the stairs were getting risky. Said it would be easier for us. More convenient. More manageable. He said all the right words. But I wasn't listening to what he said. I was watching what he did. While he talked, his eyes kept drifting around the room. Measuring space, not with a tape, but with intention. Out him glancing at the windows, the walls, the corners where furniture sat. He wasn't imagining our comfort. He was imagining his layout. New curtains, new furniture, new furniture. New life in our house. He thought he was being subtle. He wasn't. He thought we were too old to notice. We were rent. That's the mistake people make about age. They think silence means confusion. Sometimes it just means we're choosing not to interrupt. Tyler believed he could compress our entire life into a 400 square foot box, so he could expand his into something bigger. He thought we wouldn't resist. He thought we didn't have the energy. He forgot something important. I didn't just buy this house. I built the legal fortress around it. Tyler has always lived near us. At least that's how he described it. What he meant was he lived off us. Even at 35, he still had a key to our pantry. He came and went as he pleased. Borrowed tools, borrowed time, borrowed patience. And we let him. Because that's what parents do. We protect, we provide. We smooth out the rough edges of life so our children don't have to feel them. At first, it felt like love. Later, it became a pattern. And eventually, it became a shadow. We didn't notice when support turned into expectation. We didn't notice when gratitude disappeared. We didn't notice when thank you turned into of course. That's how enabling works. It doesn't feel dangerous in the beginning. It feels generous. But over time, something shifts. The child stops seeing the parent as a person and starts seeing them as a resource. Tyler didn't think he was taking anything from us. In his mind, it was already his, just delayed. That's the illusion of entitlement. He wasn't asking for our home. He was scheduling its transfer. The brochures were just the beginning. After that conversation, things started changing. Slowly at first. Then all at once. Tyler began talking about the house like it was a burden. Too big. Too much maintenance. Too many stairs. He started helping. Listing items online. Furniture we had owned for decades. Antique pieces. My wife had cared for like family. Gone. Without a conversation. Without permission. Dad, no one uses this stuff anymore, he said. That's when I realized something. He wasn't waiting for us to leave. He had already moved in. Inside his mind. He was just waiting for reality to catch up. One afternoon, my wife and I went out for lunch. Simple day. Nothing special. Yeah, nothing special. When we came back, There was a stranger standing in our bedroom, holding a camera, taking pictures of our life. Drawers, closets, my wife's vanity, every detail documented like inventory. Tyler stood behind him like it was normal, like we were the ones interrupting something. "Just getting an appraisal," he said casually. No apology, no hesitation, just justification. Then he said it. The sentence that told me everything. "Dad, it's for the best. You've been getting forgetful." That was his strategy. Not confrontation, not force, but doubt. If he could convince us we were declining, he could take control without resistance. That's called infantilization. You strip someone of their authority by questioning their competence. Make them second-guess themselves. Make them feel like they need guidance. Make them believe they're the problem. But he misunderstood something. I wasn't forgetful. I was watching. The senior studio wasn't luxury. It was contained. A clean, controlled space far enough away to make visits inconvenient. He had a full plan. Sell the house. Give him the proceeds to manage. Move into the guest cottage, temporarily. Rent out the main property. Create income for himself. He didn't see it as taking. He saw it as efficiency. That's how people justify things they don't want to feel guilty about. They reframe it, make it sound responsible, logical, necessary. But underneath all of that, it was simple. He wanted our life. It was simple, early. So I didn't argue. I didn't fight. I didn't correct him. I let him talk. I let him believe he was in control. Because sometimes, the strongest move isn't resistance. It's patience. A week later, I made a call. Not to Tyler, to a developer. A developer? A man I had known for years. Someone who understood land. Value. Timing. My house sits on 3 acres. Prime location. Right where the new commercial expansion is heading. Tyler saw opportunity. The difference in perspective was everything. We met quietly. No drama, no announcements. Just numbers. Real ones. Numbers Tyler had never imagined. Within days, the deal was done. Signed. Final. For the right moment. That moment came on moving day. Tyler arrived early. Excited. Organized. Ready to help us transition into our new life. I stepped out of his car smiling. Until he saw the trucks. Not small ones. Workers. And on the front door, a notice. Bright. Clear. Unmistakable. Demolition permit. He stood there frozen. Confused. Like the script had changed without his permission. I walked up to him calmly. Handed him a check. $5,000. Exactly the amount he said we would save by downsizing. He looked at it like it didn't make sense. I said, "Since you love the studio so much, I thought I'd help you get started." He didn't speak. Didn't move. Didn't understand. So I finished it for him. We sold the house. The land. Everything pause. We're moving to Tuscany. Longer pause. Don't look for the key. I glanced back at the house. They're tearing the door down tomorrow. That's the thing about entitlement. It only works when the other person stays still. The moment they move, everything collapses. We didn't move into a studio. We didn't downsize. We didn't disappear. We chose something else. Freedom. A smaller place. Quieter life. Not forced. Not managed. Chosen. Tyler lost more than a house. He lost access. And access is what he thought he owned. That's the real lesson here. Children are entitled to your love. But they are not entitled to your legacy. They are not entitled to your legacy. And they are definitely not entitled to your life while you're still living it. So if someone starts measuring your windows before you've even opened them for the day, it might be time to change the locks. Or better yet, sell the house and keep the door closed.